Hi guys, my name is Annalie and welcome to my DIY channel, and this is another Christmas video that is part of a collab which I will elaborate a little bit more on later. So jumping right into this video, let's get started with the Dollar Tree calendars. Now I have collected these over the years, so to be honest I can't even remember which year is which, but we're going to be using some of the Christmas calendars, the Christmas pages from the calendars. So I went ahead and I got them all cut out. This is some scrap wood, but you guys could easily use whatever wood you want. You can cut down some square dowels, whatever it is that works for you guys. I went ahead and I just got them all sanded down, and then I cut them down to size, put a little bit of glue on them, and then I did staple mine together with my pneumatic staple gun. You guys of course don't have to do this. You can just glue them together, put some clamps on them, use some screws, hammer, whatever you want. This is our router. And you guys, I just recently started using this a lot more and I absolutely love it. So you can see that I've clamped this here down to the table, and now I'm using my router to go around the edges, but then I had to turn it around and do the other part. This bit right here is just basically cutting a little chunk out of it to create what's called a rabbet edge. I believe that's what it's called. I think that's what my husband taught me. This though is what it looks like so that you can put pictures in. You can see that I made a whole bunch of frames while I was at it. I just went ahead and basically mass produced because I was there getting it done, so I felt like I could just get a whole bunch knocked out. And then I went ahead and I stained it in the color Jacobian or Provincial, I'll have to look, by Minwax. These wire rings that you can get from the Dollar Tree, I don't know what they're called when they're these multiple rings, but it was a wreath form. I went ahead and I just cut down one of the rings. Actually, I didn't even have to cut it. I honestly just pulled it apart and it worked. And then I just used some Dollar Tree greenery and a bunch of the Christmas floral picks to put this on the bottom. This is some cut up paper from a book. I love that it was from, it basically was line from a book, and I just cut it up from an old book that I got from the Dollar Tree and kind of put it all together here to create this cute little bow. I thought that it just added a lot of unique, what's the word, vintage maybe, to the whole wreath. So now I'm going to glue this onto some foam core board. I just put some glue on the corners because I feel like the glue sometimes crinkles my paper just a little too much for me. So I just did it in the corners, and this actually worked pretty good. Using a razor knife blade, I was able to cut this out down to size, and now we are just stapling this to the frame because it's that foam core board. And now I'm going to hot glue that frame on. I actually got an idea, inspiration, I think is what I'm trying to say, for this project from a cute project from the Dollar Tree. And I thought, instead of spending $5, it's in their more expensive section, instead of spending $5, I decided that I could recreate it for even less. So after getting it kind of all decked out with floral the way that I wanted, I then glued it in place over the cute little joy words, and then I made my bow that I was telling you about with paper, glued it on, and this DIY was all done. Also, like I said, so since I made a whole bunch of frames at once, there's another way that you can do this. This is from a calendar last year, I believe. I glued this onto a Dollar Tree sign, and I think I did this last year because I found this when I pulled out my Christmas decor. I found it just glued to this sign without a frame, ready to go. And so since I had frames, I just basically measured it, sized it, and stapled it in place, and had another picture frame ready to go. So if you don't want to use foam core board, this is another option if you like a sturdier look. But really, I don't think you can tell the difference between the two. You can't tell that one was foam core and one was actually a more hard, like a harder Dollar Tree sign. But I love how they both looked. Today's video is part of a collab hosted by Ellie from DIY from House to Home and Shannon with Shannon's Crafty DIYs. If you guys get a chance, go and check out their channels and check out their videos. They make the cutest stuff and they have darling ideas, DIYs, and videos. Thank you guys so much for inviting me to be a part of this collab with you. The theme is Dollar Tree winter DIYs. So all of these DIYs are from the Dollar Tree, or at least a part of them is from the Dollar Tree. And this has been such a fun collab to do with you guys. So thank you so much, Ellie, for asking me to do this video with you guys. So for this next DIY, the Dollar Tree has these darling little sleighs out, or at least they did have them out. I went ahead and stained one of them in the color Jacobian, and then I just used, this is just a decal that you can get from Cricut Design Space. I did not design this one by myself or anything. I just downloaded it and cut it, sized it. Actually, I should say I sized it, then cut it, and then applied it. I did put down a layer of Mod Podge first because that does help my paint from bleeding. And I let that dry really good, and then just using some Waverly White chalk paint, I sponged this on in place, and then I did some dry brushing with the Waverly White chalk paint, and then I tied a string on top of this because I did want this to hang as an ornament. And that was it for this DIY, you guys. I thought this was such just a cute, simple DIY ready to go, and it already is so cute because the Dollar Tree, you guys, has just come out with such cute stuff this year. I've been so impressed. For Christmas this year, Dollar Tree had the cutest sign blanks. Right here you can see these slat signs that have a frame on them with wooden beads on the hanger. I see them in, I saw them in both black and white with different shapes. And so I actually grabbed a couple of these to use throughout the year, and I am so glad that I did. This right here is just a decal that I downloaded from Cricut Design Space again. And then I did just add the words, "Oh Holy Night," from the Christmas song right underneath it. Put those together, cut that out, and then applied this right here to the sign just as like a quick little decal. And then once I had that on, I did put some Mod Podge down first to seal my stencil. I think some of you said that this doesn't always work for you, but so far this has worked so good for me every time I've tried it. I got the idea from Whitney over on her channel, Whiskey and Wit. I know other YouTubers use it, but she's the one where I saw it first, and I use it every time I use my vinyl as a stencil. I love using vinyl as a stencil because then I don't feel like I'm committed to a certain color of vinyl or a certain kind of vinyl, like either the glossy versus matte. And then I can change it up to any color that I want with using it as a stencil. And then I also feel like it gives it a little bit, I guess, more of a, I can distress it a little bit easier than I can leaving the vinyl on. So I just really love using stencils made from vinyl. But right here you can see that I just used some gray paint to stencil this on. I believe this was gray from the color Mineral in Waverly chalk paint, if that makes any sense. This is a technique that I use for some distressing. You can see that I'm just putting some tape down, like smearing it on really good, and then just ripping it off. I like using this technique because sometimes when I sand it, it seems to get the dust from the color onto the white, and sometimes I can't get that off. And so I use this tape to kind of peel some of the paint up, and it gives it kind of a rustic distressed look, and I really like it. I did put some black chalk paint on the beads very roughly just to give them some distressing, and I did leave the original frame on this, and that's all I did for that DIY. So now for this one, I decided to try, and I was gonna paint those pieces of the frame, but I'm telling you, Dollar Tree, whoever glues these frames together, they deserve a raise because it was unbelievable how hard it was to get these off. They're using very good glue. Somebody's doing a good job. I mean, sometimes they're a little crooked. They probably could straighten that out just a little bit, but otherwise it was very impressive. But I butchered them, as you saw. So we'll be making our own frame. This is just a decal that I was able to get from the Cricut Design Space. Again, I just went in and Googled. I went in and searched for sleigh rides and found this cute sign right here. So using the same technique, I did the Mod Podge first, let that dry, and then Waverly White chalk paint on top because it's got a black background. And then when I was doing another DIY, I went ahead and I just cut down some scrap pieces of wood just to size. I painted them white with Waverly White chalk paint and then sanded them. I thought that I still had the footage of me painting them, but apparently since I used it in another video, I got a little zealous and threw it away. I think I deleted it, but I did sand it to distress it just a little bit, and then using some hot glue, I'm just gluing these pieces back on to create a frame. And I actually like it way better than the original frame. It's just a little bit thicker, a little bit sturdier. It's white instead of that like neutral color, and so it really matches this really well. I thought I was impressed with my own frame, better than the Dollar Tree's frame that it came with on this one. And then I left the beads nude, and just that was it. That was it for this DIY. So simple, you guys. If you get a chance to go get those sign blanks, I totally recommend it because they are so fun and easy and cute. All right, so these are some plaques that I was able to get from the Dollar Tree. Back in the springtime, I stocked up and just grabbed a whole bunch of them. I wanted to make these cute little signs. I thought they'd be really fun to put into like a tiered tray or just as little accent pieces for your Christmas decor. So I sanded off the paper, that floral paper that was decorating them, that it just came from the Dollar Tree from, and then painted them white with Waverly White chalk paint. This is a cut file that I found. It was completely free. I just Googled Grinch cut files and this came up. I will see if I can have that website linked down below for you guys to use that too, but it was completely free. And then this right here is actually, I downloaded the font called Grinched from dafont.com, which I will also have linked down below for you guys to download and to try to use as well. And then I just typed these out myself from the song Stink, Stank, Stunk, and then You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Of course, nice and easy, but I thought it was really cute to go with this Grinch face that I cut out right here. So again, super awesome find. I mean, you can buy a lot of these cut files on Etsy or from people's websites, which I think is great, but I just Googled free cut files and this is what came up, and I was very excited to see that. So here they are all together, and I just thought they'd be so cute in like a tiered tray or really just anywhere with your decor. Okay, so I found this in my stash. I picked up this star a long time ago, probably around like 4th of July, if I remember right. And I had already stained it. I believe it was in the color Jacobian, but since it was already stained, I thought, oh, I could make a cute little ornament with this. So using some tape and some Waverly White chalk paint, I just made some ticking stripes right here. Distress the edges, and then this is another just cut file that I found on Cricut Design Space. I didn't make any of these myself because I just was not very original for this video, and I just was quick and easy. Picked something that I liked, cut it out, and applied it. Here we are again using vinyl as a stencil. And so I put this over the ticking stripe, and then I'm just using some acrylic paint. I think it's Folk Art, and it's in this silvery, shimmery color. So it's kind of subtle, but I actually like that. I like that you almost don't see it till you get a little bit closer, but you could use it as a cute sign. You could put it in your tree as an ornament. It says Jingle Bells, and I thought this turned out so cute, and it was so quick and easy. Just a little bit of paint, tape, and a stencil, and you have such a quick, easy DIY. All right, this is going to be a cute little garland. So if you guys remember, this is a garland that I made in a fall video with our cute little Ashby family tree, and I just put all of our names on it, and then the year that my husband and I got married, put some beads on it, tied some string, made some tassels, loved it. So I was really sad to have to take it down, so I decided that I needed a Christmas one. So right here, just to make it a little bit different, I am painting these trees. These ones came in a pack of 8, which worked out perfect for me because there are 6 people in my family, and then I wanted one for like the Christmas tree part, or like family tree, and then the year that we were our family was established. So I went ahead and painted the first 4 in like an off-white color, kind of almost like a brown. I just basically took Waverly white chalk paint and mixed it with some brown paint and got that color. And then this is some acrylic paint mixed with the moss color paint from Waverly, and then I just painted the other 4 green for like traditional Christmas trees. And then using some gold acrylic paint, I painted each one of these stars on top of the tree. I thought about filling the holes, but I ended up not filling them, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because you guys will see what I do with those holes, and I actually like it so much better. I'm so glad that I didn't fill them. And then of course I had to distress them, so I just took a little bit of the white Waverly chalk paint and brushed that on with a dry brushing technique onto the green ones, and then I used some brown for the ones that are kind of that off-white color. Distressed it really good, and now right here, this is I cut out on my Cricut our names in a cute font. I believe it's another font that I downloaded from dafont.com. I believe it's Hillary Samantha. I'll have that down below for you guys. But I just cut out all of our names, and then I purposely put our names different ways, like going a little even like skiwampus, if you will, all along the trees. And I love how whimsical it ended up looking, you guys. I thought that was so fun. And so this is one of the times where I don't use vinyl as a stencil, and I just put it on there because it worked out really good. And then you don't see me do this, but I do go back over it with a layer of Mod Podge just to seal on that vinyl, because it will last longer and it won't get brittle and peel off, and it just stays better, it looks better. And so I do recommend using some Mod Podge on top of your vinyl. If you look right there, I just used some really thin jute twine. Oh my goodness. Put it through the star hole that I was telling you about that I didn't fill, and tied off a cute little bow, and I love that. This is just a paper straw that I had left over from my stash. It was from the 4th of July, but you're not going to see it. I just cut it into little pieces and glued it to the back. I like doing this with my garlands because I feel like they lay flatter. If I were to feed the twine through the star holes, I feel like it would cause the trees to all kind of want to turn on an angle. And so by doing this, it allows the trees to lay flat. And then using some beads that I got from that beaded garland, because it had the green in it, I put 3 in between each one, and then I'm going back through and tying ribbon from the Dollar Tree and then some twine that I got from Walmart on here in just a various pattern. It doesn't really follow anything. These are the 3 things that I used, since I didn't show you that from the beginning, but those are the 3 that I used that I thought would look really cute with like the off-white color and the green. Kind of just some really pretty muted neutral colors for Christmas that I'm really loving. And it matches the green from that beaded garland. So tied all that ribbon on, and now I wanted to make some more tassels. So I'm using some cotton twine that you can get from the Dollar Tree. This was in the automotive section, and I only have 1 roll of it, and there's quite a bit of it there, but I am going to go back and get some more because I am loving how much I love it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I tied some tassels on the end. It's kind of like a softer jute twine, but in more of a natural white color. But here is that garland all done and ready to go. You guys, that's going to be it from me today in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you again to Ellie and Shannon for including me in this DIY collaboration and challenge. I'm so grateful that you asked me to be a part of this. Please be sure to check out their channels. I'll have everything linked down below. Let me know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment, like this video, and if you guys would like to consider subscribing, I would be so grateful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Here's a few more videos if you guys would like to watch something else. Bye guys.